Ladies, can we have a real honest moment here? There are few feelings in the world as electrifying as when you know a man wants you. You don't need him to say it outright, you feel it. It's in the way his voice dips ever so slightly when he speaks to you, the way his eyes linger a fraction too long, and the subtle tension in the air that makes your heart race. But here's the thing. Most men will never come right out and say, "I want to sleep with you." Why? Because it's too blunt, too risky, and far too easy for you to shut down with a single word. Instead, men have mastered a subtle art, a hidden language of desire. They leave clues. They drop breadcrumbs through carefully chosen words and phrases, hoping you'll follow the trail without them having to say the obvious. The problem? If you don't know how to decode these signals, one of two things will happen. You'll completely miss the fact that he's trying to take things to the next level. Or worse, you'll mistake a fleeting moment of lust for a deep emotional connection. And let me tell you, that confusion has broken more hearts than anyone cares to admit. Now you might be thinking, but Matthew, can't a man just say something sweet without it meaning he wants sex? Absolutely. There are wonderful, genuine men who mean every tender word they say. But this conversation isn't about those men. This is about the ones whose primary agenda is to get you into their bed, tonight. And make no mistake, he will tell you exactly what he wants, just not in the way you expect. Here's why understanding this matters so much. When you recognize the language of desire, you take your power back. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop wondering whether he's interested in you or if he just likes the idea of you for one night. Knowledge is freedom. When you can clearly see his intentions, you get to make choices from a place of strength and confidence. Whether you decide to embrace the chemistry or walk away entirely, you'll do it on your terms. So today, we're going to break down 5 phrases men say when they want to sleep with you. Some of them sound completely innocent. Some sound heartbreakingly romantic. Some are so subtle you might have missed them 100 times before. But once you understand their deeper meaning, you'll never hear them the same way again. 1. You should come over. This one is a classic. It's short, casual, almost playful, but make no mistake, it's one of the clearest invitations a man can give. Think about it. Men don't invite you over at midnight because they need your opinion on their new couch cushions, or because they suddenly remembered a bottle of wine they've been dying to share. When a man says, "You should come over," what he's really saying is, "I want you in my space right now," and not just sitting on the couch. Here's why this line is so effective. It's subtle and non-threatening. It gives you plausible deniability. If you call him out by saying, "Oh, you're just trying to get me into bed," he can laugh and reply, No, I just thought it'd be fun to hang out." Meanwhile, both of you know exactly what that invitation implies. But here's where you need to be sharp. The context and timing of this invitation matter more than the words themselves. If you've been on 3 or 4 proper dates, dinners, long conversations, genuine bonding, and then he invites you over, it might simply be the natural next step in a growing relationship. But if he sends this text after one quick drink at 11:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night, that's not romance. That's convenience. He's not looking for connection. He's looking for the fastest way to fulfill his physical desire. Here's a quick rule. A 7 p.m. "you should come over" sounds like dinner, laughter, and maybe something more. An 11:45 p.m. "you should come over." That's not a date, that's a straight-up booty call. There's nothing wrong with desire itself. Passion is natural and beautiful. The problem is when you confuse a man's desire for your body with his interest in your soul. So when you hear this line, pause and ask yourself, what do I want right now? If you want a fun, no-strings-attached night, own that choice unapologetically. If you're looking for a relationship, recognize that this might not be the step you want to take just yet. Remember, you control the pace. He may extend the invitation, but you choose whether to RSVP. 2. We don't have to do anything. Oh, this one is deliciously sneaky. On the surface, it sounds noble, respectful, even comforting. It feels like he's saying, "Relax, I'm not pressuring you. There are no expectations here." But beneath that calm exterior, this is one of the most seductive tactics men use. Here's the truth. If he truly didn't have any sexual intentions, he wouldn't need to bring it up at all. The fact that he says this means he's absolutely thinking about it. It's like someone staring at a decadent slice of chocolate cake and announcing, "Don't worry, I won't eat it." Why mention it unless the temptation is real? This line works because it lowers your defenses. He's essentially wrapping his desire in a blanket of safety, hoping you'll feel comfortable enough to let things progress naturally. By assuring you there's no pressure, he creates an environment where you feel like you're in control, even though his end goal hasn't changed. Two common scenarios. Scenario 1. You've been out on a date, shared some drinks, and he says as you're standing outside his door,
"Why don't you come inside? We don't have to do anything."
Translation, "I'm dying for something to happen, but I'll play it cool so you don't run." Scenario 2. You're already at his place watching a movie, cuddling on the couch. Things are heating up, and he whispers softly,
"Don't worry, we don't have to do anything."
In this case, he's not pulling back. He's priming you, letting you know that if you do want to cross that line, he's more than ready. Here's how to tell if it's sincere. Watch what happens after he says it. Does he genuinely give you space, lean back, and let the evening unfold naturally? Or does he start inching closer, letting his hands wander, silently urging you to take the bait? His actions will always reveal his true intentions. If he respects your boundaries, great, that's a man worth keeping. But if he vanishes the moment you don't take things further, that tells you everything you need to know about his real motives. 3. I just want to be close to you. This one sounds so romantic, doesn't it? Out of all the lines a man can use, this might be the most disarming. It feels tender, intimate, and genuine. It doesn't sound like lust, it sounds like love. But that's exactly why it's so effective. When a man says, "I just want to be close to you," what he's really doing is blurring the line between emotional intimacy and physical intimacy. He's speaking to your heart while aiming for your body. See, men instinctively understand that women are rarely turned on by physicality alone. For women, attraction often comes from feeling cherished, safe, and deeply connected. So when he uses this line, he's appealing to your emotional side while setting the stage for things to turn physical. Let's decode this with a couple of real-world examples. Scenario 1. You're cuddled up on the couch after a date, the lights are dim, and he leans in to whisper,
"I just want to be close to you."
Translation, I want to take this further, but I don't want to scare you by being too direct. It's his way of softly guiding the energy toward intimacy while keeping the tone sweet and safe. Scenario 2. You're saying goodbye outside your apartment door. He holds you close, his voice low and warm as he says, "I just want to be close to you." In this context, it's more than a hug. He's testing to see if you'll invite him in, subtly suggesting that the evening doesn't have to end just yet. Here's the danger. This line can feel like love, especially if you've been craving deeper connection. But don't forget, words like these are only as real as the actions that follow them. If he says, "I just want to be close to you," but disappears the next day, that wasn't closeness. That was lust wrapped in poetry. Here's the test. Does he want to be close to you when physical intimacy isn't possible? When you're stressed, sick, or unavailable, does he still show up emotionally? Or is his version of closeness always tied to late-night encounters and passionate moments? True closeness is revealed in consistency, not whispers in the dark. So enjoy the sweetness of the moment, but watch the pattern of his behavior. If his actions don't align with his words, then closeness is just another seductive strategy. 4. I can't stop thinking about you. This is the line that makes women melt. It's poetic, flattering, and deeply validating. When a man says, "I can't stop thinking about you," you immediately imagine him lying awake at night, replaying every detail of your last date, obsessing over your smile, your laugh, the way you make him feel. But here's the twist. This line doesn't always mean he's falling in love. Sometimes, it simply means he's stuck in a loop of desire. He's thinking about you, yes, but maybe not about your dreams, values, or the deeper layers of who you are. Instead, he might be replaying the way your dress hugged your body or imagining the spark of your first kiss. Desire isn't bad. It's natural, exciting, even intoxicating. The danger comes when you confuse desire with devotion. One is about the way you make him feel in a fleeting moment. The other is about his willingness to invest in a shared future. Here's how to decode it. Scenario 1. You've only been on 1 or 2 casual dates and suddenly at midnight you get a text that says, "I can't stop thinking about you." It feels thrilling. but in reality, it's probably his way of expressing strong physical attraction rather than deep emotional connection. Scenario 2. You've been seeing each other for a while. During a quiet dinner, he looks into your eyes and says, "I can't stop thinking about you." In this case, the context gives the words weight. It's not just about chemistry, it's about a deeper bond. The key is to watch what happens next. Does he follow those words with consistent effort, planning dates, checking in, showing genuine interest in your life? Or does he use the phrase as bait, pulling you back into his orbit without actually investing in you? A man who truly can't stop thinking about you will show it through actions, not just words. He'll think about you at midnight and at noon, and he'll prove it by showing up consistently. So when you hear this line, enjoy it. Let it make you smile. But don't crown him the king of romance until his behavior matches his confession. Because, at the end of the day, words without action are just smoke. I don't want this night to end. Oh, this one is smooth. It's the kind of line that feels straight out of a romantic movie scene. Imagine this. The city lights twinkle. The night air is soft. He looks at you with that intense, vulnerable gaze and says, "I don't want this night to end." In that moment, it feels like he's not just after a night. He's after forever. But let's decode the psychology behind it. This line is an invitation. Sometimes it's direct, sometimes it's subtle, but the underlying message is, "I want more time with you," ideally in a way that brings us physically closer. Now, does it always mean sex? Not necessarily. Sometimes, yes, it's a romantic cloak for lust. Other times, it's simply about prolonging the emotional connection because he's genuinely enjoying your company. The key is to look at the pattern. If he says this line and immediately suggests going back to his place, you know where his mind is headed. If he uses it while making plans for future dates, it may genuinely mean he's caught up in the magic of being with you. Here's where women often get hurt. They confuse, "I don't want this night to end" with, "I don't want us to end." One is about a temporary high. The other is about lasting commitment. When you hear this line, pause and ask yourself, does his desire to prolong the night align with my own boundaries? Is he also investing in seeing me beyond this moment? Because a man who values you won't just want one night, he'll want many nights, many mornings, and many plans for the future. Remember this, you're not waiting to be chosen. You are the one doing the choosing. Your worth isn't determined by how quickly you say yes or no. It's determined by how deeply you value yourself and your boundaries. So the next time a man drops one of these seductive little lines, smile, stay playful, but never forget, you hold the power. Because the sexiest thing a woman can ever wear isn't a dress, a smile, or even confidence. It's clarity. Clarity about who she is, what she deserves, and what she will or won't accept. And that, my love, will never go out of style.